Good evening, everybody. Merry Christmas, and welcome back to the Basement Show with Mr. Nest. I am Mr. Nest. Joining me tonight is,
Ho, ho, ho. It's Ron.
I was going to say it's Santa Claus.
Yes.
And
Same
no,
white beard.
yeah. Well, you have the white beard, and I got the blonde too. This is the first time people on the page have actually seen it. So, yes, I did dye my hair blonde over the weekend to prove a point to a bunch of people. So, yeah, I am now a blonde.
They say blondes have more fun.
Yeah, well, you can just look at that intro and tell I had some fun making that
There
intro.
you go. Absolutely.
A little Philly theme to it, some people say, but when you live in this area, you just kind of have to do it. It gets you hyped up and pumped up.
Yep.
Better than the football team does as of late, so why not the basement show?
Well, I mean, come on, we righted the ship a little bit this week. We can't we can stop at least a little bit of the negativity.
A little bit.
Coming off of 3 losses, 2 of them, kind of significant, and one just kind of by accident. But
Yeah, the one by accident was definitely a bit shooting the hurt a little bit, you might want to say.
yeah. I mean, given Drew Lock 92 yards in a minute and a half, yeah, I would say.
No. Gary's in the building. Happy holidays, Gary.
Hey, Gary.
But no, I think that that was an early Christmas gift from Mr. Locke. I will say that.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Drew Locke. Hope you enjoyed your 5 seconds of fame because you were back on the bench this past weekend. So
Yeah. Just as his fame began, Tommy Cutlets ends.
oh, that was I mean, it's a story of the backup quarterback scenario if you think about it.
I think that was kind of an early hook, honestly. I mean, the guy won you 3 games in a row and you pull him in a half.
Yeah.
That was kind of tough. And it's not like he was getting sacked. They only had 1 sack all day.
Which is sad.
It is sad.
Especially with that offensive line that the New York Giants have. Come on.
Yeah, and this D line just hasn't been getting to the quarterback. I mean, Josh Sweat hasn't had a sack since like week 5.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know. I mean, Reddick made a couple nice plays, but
yeah, I mean, Reddick's been getting there, but nobody else. I mean, none of the interior guys are getting enough push on a regular basis. I mean, I mean, in those first few games, Jalen Carter looked like a beast.
Yeah.
Now he looks like a beauty.
Well, from what I was listening on the radio tonight, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter are out of shape. And their conditioning is not where they would like it to be, so they are gassed. Which tells me a lot. That they're not up to speed with the pro game yet. They're still struggling to adapt to it. Which could be good, could be bad.
Yeah, which is not unusual for college players in their first year or their first year or two. Until they get used to the extended amount of time that they're playing compared to the college season.
Yeah. Well, that you figure in college in a given season, you're playing 11, 12 games. With a professional, you're playing 17, 18 games, if not more.
Yep.
So, I mean, that probably has a lot to do with it, but still, that's what you go to OTAs for, training camp for, the mini camp is to get your conditioning where you need it to be.
Right, but the problem is that they don't do enough physical activity in training camp anymore to really let you build up that stamina. And training camp is just glorified walkthroughs.
Yeah, that is true. A lot that has changed a lot since I grew up. I mean, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, back then they're doing 2-a-days in the heat in Lehigh, and now they're doing half the amount of time, only hitting 1 day a week and cut down the preseason game. And let's see. Yeah. So, I mean, all that added together.
That doesn't very bode well. I mean,
in the controlled climate of the bubble at the link.
that is true. Man, you bring me back to my childhood days, though, when you said Lehigh. I just remember going up there a lot as a kid. I mean, I was so mad at my older sister. I'll tell you a funny story real quick, because we always used to walk like up to the play to get autographs and stuff. But then you could wait in the parking lot where they were getting ready to leave, and you could also try to get autographs too.
Mm-hmm.
Where we walked up to this car, I got the one side, my sister went around the other side. I got Urban Fire, which was awesome back in the day. My sister on the other side got Charlie Gardner. And that's who I really wanted, because I always wore his jersey. He was my Brian Westbrook before Brian Westbrook was drafted.
Right.
That was my favorite player, was Charlie Gardner. So the fact that my sister got his autograph, but I didn't, really pissed me off. Because they sped off after that.
Yep.
I mean, so many stories about Lehigh, I could just go on and on, but I won't, I promise.
So what's going on with you, Gary? Anything good? Hope you had a nice holiday.
Yeah, if you're in chat, let us know. How was everyone's holiday? We can start off by catching up with everybody. I know it's been a while since we've been here on a Tuesday night. So what's been going on other than the sports? Because sports go every single day. So if you,
especially around this time of year.
Yeah, you got 3 of the major sports going. I mean,
yeah,
and
the Johnson Brothers Tidy Bowl, I'm sure, is coming up.
Wait, Johnson's Tidy Bowl? I missed something?
No, just all these sponsored bowl games.
Well, let's see what one is going right now. Because I didn't do any bowl prediction challenges like most people do. Because there's so many, and like so many schools that you never seen.
Right.
All good. No, Christmas is over. No offense. Christmas and retail don't mix. Gary, I will 110% agree with that comment.
Absolutely. I can honestly say this was my very first non-retail Christmas in, let's say, I give you the official amount of time.
Oh boy, here we go.
45 years in retail.
Wow.
And I have retired, and I did 45 Christmases.
More power to you, sir.
So I did not miss it this year.
Not my own. Yeah, especially when you work in the seafood department. 7 fishes, you get it?
Yeah, this is true.
That is very true. Right now, you have Texas State beating up on Rice 38-21 in the Serpro First Responders Bowl. Minnesota won the Quick Lane Bowl this afternoon, 30-24 over Bowling Green.
Mm-hmm.
And at 9 o'clock, you have the Guaranteed Rate Bowl tonight with UNLV and Kansas. Mm-hmm. Actually, just started. It's kind of weird.
And I actually, for historic purposes, I actually performed at a bowl game on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
In 19. Okay, do I have to say it? I guess I started it now. I have to say.
Yeah, you might as well finish.
When I was at the University of Miami,
1979,
with the marching band, in 1979, at the Tokyo Bowl, which was played in Tokyo, Japan, was Miami versus Notre Dame.
Well, at least you saw a good game.
And I was there for 8 days, and we performed more than the football team did. we had at least 2 performances a day, including a concert with our band, Notre Dame's band, and a jazz saxophone player named Sado Watanabe. And there were in attendance 20 32,000 people.
Wow.
Sold out.
That's
Watch
crazy.
2 marching bands and a saxophone player.
Huh. Real quick, hold on. Still looking something up really, really quick. It's not on here though. Why is that? ACC. Wow, why is I'm seeing YouTube and stuff, but I'm looking to see if I can find like the box score for it.
Yeah.
Miami Notre because there's videos of it and all that fun. Oh, here you go. The box score. I found it. The present share screen.
For what game is this?
The game you were at.
Oh, the Tokyo. Oh my God, we got murdered.
40-15.
And it was a driving rain the entire game.
That's crazy. Now, I'm noticing something with this real quick. Maybe you can give me an explanation on it, okay?
Okay.
I see Notre Dame finished 7-4. That counts with the bowl win, so they were 6-4 prior. Miami was 4-5. Back then, did you not need 6 wins to get into a bowl game?
No, that was before that rule existed.
Okay.
Because they had to commit to this game more than a year in advance because of the logistics of getting everybody there because of securing visas and the like. So it was a long process to prepare. It wasn't like you could just, take 300 and odd people to Tokyo without, major planning and diplomatic maneuvering.
That's true. Yeah, I'm just surprised because you don't normally see a losing team with a losing record in a bowl game. So that's why I was just
that was right when we were on the cusp of turning the corner. The quarterback at that time was Jim Kelly, and Bernie Kosar was a red shirt, I think, at that time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there you go, Jim Kelly. 48 completions, 104 attempts, 721 yards, 5 TDs, 6 interceptions. This Mike Rodriguez wasn't much better though. Had almost 12 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions.
Holy crap. The coach was Howard Schnellenberger, who actually, after he left Miami, went to Louisville, I believe.
Okay. I'm just looking at these names if I recognize any besides Jim Kelly. Smokey Rowe, Chris Hobbs.
Well, you should see a name or two that you might recognize on the defensive side.
Defense. Jim Burt.
The kicker was Danny Miller, if I'm not mistaken.
That's kick return. Yep, Dan Miller right there.
Yep.
15
I had a class with him. So.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
This is a blast from the past. I'm sure I've seen some of these names.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Defense, though. Let me just pick it up. So I got Scott Nichols, Mark Smith, Tim Flanagan, Jim Burt. Can't say I recognize any of these. Who am I supposed to recognize?
I can't see it, so. But,
yeah, gotta look at Lester Williams, Charles Clark, Ronnie Lippett, Jerry Pope. That one sounds a little bit familiar.
I mean, this is just right before Dwayne Johnson got there. I mean, and Jerome.
Oh wow.
We're just a couple years after this.
Interesting. See, folks, you learn something new. You get a history lesson on Sports Roundup too.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was just funny that we were talking about it. So I was like, let me see if I can actually search it and pull something up, make him feel old.
Yeah. It was so bad. The rain was so bad. We had to sit in the rain.
Oof, no
And
thanks.
they called it the Tokyo Dome, but it was not a dome stadium.
Interesting.
So go figure that one out. I literally had to every 10, 15 minutes take my instrument and turn it upside down to empty all the water out of it because of the amount of rain that was coming down on us with like ponchos on, sitting on the track around the field of the stadium.
Dang.
Not even in the stands.
Never heard of that. I've heard trombone players have to tilt the thing down and empty out the spit, but
yeah. Well, I had a baritone horn that I would have to take and actually physically dump out. There was so much water.
Jeez.
And luckily the tuba players had uprights. They didn't have the big bell tubas. They had the uprights that came off the shoulder. So that didn't catch any water because they pointed this way instead of up.
That's pretty cool. So looking at this real quick, you do have bragging rights from that year, though. I will give you that.
Okay.
November 3rd, 1979, Miami, Florida at 19th ranked Penn State. And coming out with a 26-10 victory.
Yep.
But then the following weekend, 2 weeks later, getting your butt kicked by Miami, Alabama.
Yeah. I mean, we played a tough schedule back then. That was when we first were really getting involved in the conferences.
Yeah, because there's a lot of independent, Stockland, non-major, SEC.
That was kind of during the transition period, right before the program really exploded.
Oh. Pretty tough schedule, though. Probably back in the day. Louisville, Florida State, Louisiana Tech, San Diego State, Boston College.
Boston College.
Hey, you won that year, though. You guys beat Boston College that year.
Yeah, but anytime I think of Boston College, all I can think of is the Doug Flutie Hail Mary.
So I guess you don't like Fruity Freak, huh?
No, I do not.
Anyone have Fruity Freaks in chat for Ron? He's kind of hungry tonight. he could use a snack. No, I didn't take a cruise. Now I'm just going to get beat up. I'm sorry. Moving on. But yeah, I mean, bowl game. Not that well. Actually, it is this weekend. You had the 4 major playoff, the 2 playoff games, so they should be entertaining to watch. But dang, UNLV's already scored. That game just started. What happened? I can't even see a puck score yet. 1 play, 18 yards. I'll have to look at that later. Oh well. But moving on. What other games would you like to talk about, sir?
Well, I mean, I guess we should talk about the Eagles game.
That is true.
Talk a little NFL. Finally got one in the W column, which was good to see. But once again, it seems a lot closer than what it was.
That's what you were saying before, and like the score wise, but the box score is different.
There were many positives to come out of the game, in my opinion. The fact that they put up over 500 yards in total offense, they put up over 170 yards in rushing. Jalen was not playing hero ball, and he was taking what the defense was giving him. and he made some really excellent throws. The one interception, Dallas Goedert slipped on the turf. That you really can't pin that one on Jalen. And then the fumble was, Zacchaeus and Boston Scott running into each other, for God's sakes.
Bonehead play of the year.
Yeah, that was bad. But the defense seems like they're playing more aggressively. You got a good, solid performance out of Shaq Leonard. And also that other undrafted linebacker that was in there, and I couldn't pronounce his name if I tried.
Ben Van Schumer.
Yeah, him.
He had 6 tackles.
He didn't play bad.
And Shaq Leonard had 7 tackles and a sack. Only
Shaq Leonard played 46 snaps, I think.
I can't beat that. I mean, Milton Williams, 4 tackles. Patrick Cox, 5. Teddy Wingo, 5 tackles in the game-stealing interception.
Ringo played great again. I mean, they got to find a place for him.
I'm sure.
I mean, they've got to keep him in there in some way, shape, or form. Now, with Maddox coming back possibly this week, if not definitely by next week, his practice window's already been opened.
Mm-hmm.
To have him in there, you probably got Slay coming back soon, and you got Bradbury to think about. But I mean, Bradbury is just looking like he's
not
done.
Interested. Not interested.
I mean, I don't know if it's not interested or if he just can't run anymore. But I mean, at the end, at that end of that Seattle game, they targeted him all the way down the field.
Mm-hmm.
Because he just doesn't have, either he doesn't have the conditioning or he doesn't have the desire.
Or both.
So you take your pick. But I think that, if Slay makes it back, I would be okay with Slay and Ringo out there with Maddox in the slot. I mean, I'd go with that. But I don't know if you can continue to trap Bradbury out there.
No, I don't know. I mean, has to wake up for sure. I mean, he's not playing like I thought he was. You gave him that nice, healthy contract at Super Bowl. He had a good year with this last year, and then the second half of this year has just been flat.
Yeah. Now, is it because they had him doing more this year when they kept on putting him in the slot and making him run? Did he run out of, did he run out of energy with his legs, or his legs tired from running in all that coverage that he wouldn't normally do?
Yeah.
Going across the field on a regular basis when he's playing in the slot.
True.
They did ask him to play out of position. They did ask him to do a lot in the beginning of this season. Once they lost. God, I keep on forgetting his name. He hasn't been there all year practically.
Well, McPherson got
middle linebacker.
Oh, Dean,
Nakobe Dean.
I know his name. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
I like Gary's idea. Second round of training camp, mid-season training camp.
Oh boy.
I'll whip their asses into shape. I'll whip their asses into shape. I like that idea, Gary. You're onto something with that.
Good luck selling that to the Players Association.
But I'm just looking at this. Like, he has 1 interception all year.
Yeah.
Pathetic. And he has 12 pass defenses, which is decent, but not what you were expecting.
But here's the question. Is it because they weren't throwing to his side? Is that why he has less? Or does he have less because of another reason.
Yeah, because even like looking at last year's stats, right? 3 interceptions, he had 17 pass breakups.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a little bit of a dip in his production, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
I don't know, it just doesn't seem like he's into it this year. I mean, did he just take the money and run?
I mean, it would be hard to argue against it, but who knows? I mean, it's, he hasn't lost the confidence of the coaching staff as of yet, but I mean, I think they have to take a long, hard look. But now, with Patricia in there as opposed to Desai, Patricia's okay making those tough decisions.
That is
So if that
true.
means that Bradbury rides the pine, then that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's a hell of a lot of money to sit on your bench, though.
Yeah, but I think that if you want to get through these, rounds of the playoffs with decent quarterbacks, you're going to have Maddox in there. You're going to have a set of young legs that are well rested, like Ringo.
Yeah.
I mean, those are, and throw Slay in the mix because Slay is Slay.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean,
I think that Bradbury's the odd man out.
yeah. Well, if you can't really cut him next year because you'd still owe him $17.2 million.
Well, that's true.
That's the dead cap you have, and then the year after that, it's still about 12.5 million dollars in dead cap. So you invested in him, now you're kind of stuck with him.
Yeah.
But sucks. Immensely. I mean, there's nothing you can probably do with Slay neither. I'm gonna pull him up real quick.
Well, I mean, if you told me you can keep Bradbury, you can keep Slay, I'm keeping Slay every time. And if I got to bite the bullet on somebody, I'd bite it on a guy like Bradbury, who clearly has lost a step.
Yeah, because next year Slay would cost you a dead cap hit of $35 million.
Yeah, exactly. So
And
Bradbury be the cheaper option anyway, and he probably designed it that way, knowing that he wasn't going to pay them both after this season.
hell of a lot of money to tie up though in 2 players.
Yeah, but you're going to have some big money coming off the books too, though.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, you're going to have, depending on what Kelsey does, that's 14. Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham. I mean, there's a bunch of money that's going to end up coming off the cap.
Yep, because Kelsey right now cap hit 10.7. Brandon Graham 10 million, so that's 20.7 million, almost 20.8.
And then Fletch.
That's another 5.7, so you're looking at 33 million. So yeah, I mean there is potential, like you said, but you also got to start thinking, okay, how much are we going to have to pay Devontae Smith to lock him up?
Yeah.
And
I mean, the more and more that's going on, I hate to say it, and Eagles fans would probably be upset if they heard me say it. I mean, it's looking more and more like, this AJ Brown thing is not going to go away. He's clearly disgruntled. I mean, he wants, he wants to be in that top tier of receivers, and he thinks he's going to get the targets that, this isn't like Tennessee where it was like hand it to Derrick Henry or throw it to AJ Brown.
yeah.
He's now in a situation where, there's a lot more hands vying for those, between, Devontae Smith coming out of the backfield, who played an excellent game this past week, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Swift, you got Dallas Goedert, who was a monster after the master of yak this week. He had some great runs after the catch. And Devontae Smith. All these guys are commanding. You don't want to become a one-man offense.
No way. Can't.
Because we did that for a few weeks, and look what it got us. Everybody knew you're throwing A.J. Brown.
Yep.
So they're doubling them on a regular basis. I mean, sure, you're still able to pull some of them down, but, do you really want your quarterback to be so singularly locked on one target that he's becoming predictable? And, Christian McCaffrey in the San Francisco game was standing in, on the sidelines calling the plays before they were running them.
Well,
they had him mic'd up, and he's calling the plays, and then they're running that play. So, I mean, if he could see it from the sideline, I'm sure everybody else can see it from the press box.
That's true. But, I'm looking at AJ Brown stats right now. Why is he pitching? Last year, first year with the team, 88 receptions, 145 targets, 1,496 yards, 11 touchdowns. This year, 101 receptions, 152 targets, 1,394 yards, and 7 touchdowns. That's still a pretty damn good year.
He has 33% of the team's total targets. The team has 450 or 460 targets for the year. And AJ has a third of them. And he's still bitching. Because he had set that record with the consecutive games with, 125 plus. And then he, for 2 games, he was pretty much effectively out of the offense. Where he barely touched the ball. So, this is a me guy. And the history of what happens to me guys around here, especially at wide receiver, CTO.
Mm-hmm. But then you have someone like Devontae Smith, 78 receptions, 1,036 and 7 touchdowns. So I just don't get it.
Well, I mean, really, the thing that irks me the most is if you really think about it, is if you were to sit down and just open up the stats and lay them out in front of you, and you say, okay, so you have 2 receivers that are over 1,200 yards. Yes, I think. Yeah, pretty sure.
I'll be close. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got 2,000 plus receivers. This is all on one team. You got a 1,000-yard rusher. You got a tight end who is one of the tops in the league in yak. And he missed a bunch of games.
Yep.
Okay. And you got a quarterback who's got, 20, 24, 26 touchdowns. How many?
Who's that?
Hurts.
Rushing touchdowns?
Yeah. No, total touchdowns.
Thing is 27 now.
Yeah, 26, 27. Okay. And he's thrown for 3,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick. Jalen Hurts. Yeah. So right now 3,600 and 36.
Yeah. Okay, so put all that together. Would you say that that's a stagnant offense?
Pretty powerful.
I mean, put that up against most of the other teams in the league. Just because it doesn't look like last year, everybody's losing their minds and melting down. You were playing much lower competition last year.
True.
You didn't have that 6-game gauntlet that you went through.
True.
Of which you went 4-2.
No, you're not
You
wrong.
know, I mean, when we first looked at that schedule at the beginning of the year, if you had said to me, they're going to start 10-1. Okay. But then you had the gauntlet. And before the gauntlet started, everybody on the radio, everybody that I talked to was like, okay, well, they need to go, they need to go 4-2. I'd be okay with them going 3-3, but we need them to go 4-2. And they went 4-2.
Yep.
And it very easily could have been 5-1. So, the sky is not falling.
No.
But yet everybody looks at this team and, the fact that they had that losing streak and they're just losing their minds. This is not a bad team. It's, they're going to get right in the next 2 weeks and then they'll go into the playoffs. And there's not a team that's going to qualify for the playoffs that's going to walk into Philly and be favored.
That's true.
Not going to happen.
I can see that.
And if we're able to secure that 2 seed, there's going to be 2 games possibly in Philly.
Yep. No, you're right. Amber's just stopping in. Hey, you guys. Stopping in to say Merry Christmas.
Hey, Amber, Merry Christmas.
Same to you, Amber. Hope you and the little guy had a good Christmas. Nice to see you. Thank you for stopping in. Always appreciate it. I think the biggest difference that people are seeing this year that they're paranoid about is the turnovers. Because we're turning. Wait, Johnny, did you come to the ginger side? I thought you went blind. It is blind. It looks orange in the light, I promise. But no, I just think the turnovers have escalated tremendously this year, and that's why people are getting really paranoid.
I do agree with that. I mean, that's, the challenges that they had on defense, even though, a lot of times they would have struggles in the first half and then they'd lock it down in the second half, which is a credit to, I guess, to Desai, that he was able to make adjustments. But the whole problem was we needed somebody who could plan for those things in advance rather than react to them after they're already in the middle of it.
That is true. And
thus is the reason that they feel that Patricia gives us a better opportunity if he's calling the defense, even though it's still Desai's system.
it is the size system, but Patricia's
They did
calling.
not change the scheme of the defense. They only changed the calls.
That makes sense then.
So,
I mean,
but they're playing more aggressively, which I think is the main difference. And I noticed it in the very first game 2 weeks ago when Patricia took over. We went from barely arm tackling somebody to actually laying some wood on people. And
which is good.
And they were more aggressive in the pass rush. They were better at the run stop. They were plugging the holes. They weren't giving up a lot of yards on the ground per se, except for McCaffrey. But you were probably going to give that up to McCaffrey anyway. You didn't give up that much to Pollard.
True.
So, and you didn't give up that much to what's the name from Seattle? What's his name?
Cabernet?
Nah, the starter.
Dallas?
No.
No, it's DJ Dallas, isn't it?
No.
Who's the starter then?
Oh, hold on.
So it's DJ Dallas.
Nah.
Seahawks. I think that's great. Okay, hold on. I'm looking. Running back. Running back. Kenneth Walker.
Walker. Yeah. But yeah, Charbonnet was a second round pick, rookie. I mean, he did okay while Walker was hurt, but Walker is their main guy. DJ Dallas was the third string, so he was playing behind Charbonnet.
Gotcha. No, I mean, yeah, just gotta keep, like you said, actually, physical play is important, especially just late in the season. You have to make those hits count when they mean something, which I want to talk about something in a little bit. But like you gotta make those hits count. You gotta get causing turnovers. You gotta get pressure on the quarterback. Like there's a lot of things that Philly's not doing, and causing turnovers and getting to the quarterback right now is their biggest thing.
Yes,
they're not getting pressure. But looking at this stat real quick, if there's one playoff team right now who have a higher turnover ratio than Philly does, and it's alarming. Because right now in the turnover differential, Philly's a -7.
Yeah.
There's one team that's locked in their playoffs right now that is worse. And that's the Kansas City Chiefs. They're a -10.
Well, they're sinking fast.
Yes. But they might not even make the playoffs. If they lose their last two, they could be on the outside looking in. I don't even think they clinched their division yet.
I don't think so either.
But like that just it's scary to see it. Like Kansas City -10, Philly -7, Minnesota -8, Cleveland right now doing a playoff spot 10-5, doing -7. I mean, we're like not the worst team defensively, but we need some help. So from Howie this offseason, that's what I'm focusing on is getting this defense right. But like you said, oh, you're going to lose a couple of your key veterans, so it's going to be even younger. So you just got to in that shit. Because right now you're giving up 346 yards a game and 250 yards passing, which right now would put you as the sixth worst pass defense in the entire league. Tampa Bay, Washington, Chargers, Jacksonville, Cincinnati, and then us.
Yeah.
Your rush defense is a top 10 rush defense, but your pass defense is a little sus. And people are starting to figure that out. And then points per game, you're now all the way down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're the eighth worst in the league. You're averaging defensively giving up 24.4 points a game.
Right. Which I mean is not considering the schedule we've played. I mean, I don't know how bad that is, but the problem is when that happens in conjunction with a lapse by the offense that was at one point averaging 30 points a game to drop down to in the 20s makes for bad news.
Yeah. Because right now your offense is averaging 26.1 points a game. And your defense is giving up 24.4.
Yeah.
That's not much of a lean way.
No, not at all. But I mean, it was good to see them, put a little bit together. Like I said, if Jalen stays within, the parameters of the offense and he takes what he's given as opposed to trying to force the ball down the field to pad AJ's numbers, then, I think it gives us a better chance to win these games and to win going forward into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Maybe there comes a time later on where we need to get down the field a little bit more. But, for now, we just need to focus on seizing every opportunity we have and trying to secure the ball.
That's a big must. You must hold on to the ball going forward. Well, 125% agree with you on that.
Yep.
You gotta hold on to the ball offensively, and defensively, you need to get the ball.
Yep.
You gotta be a Danny Bateman. You gotta get the coach the ball.
Give me the ball, Danny.
That's all I ask for.
Yeah.
But
and then when you get it, run the dang ball, Bert.
Yeah, I mean
the mix this past week is you ran a little over 70 plays, and it was almost 50-50 between run and pass.
Yeah.
And, you put up over 30 points. So you do the math.
The math right there on the table. A balanced offense and helps you out.
The running game cures a lot of these passing game woes. And if you're not putting it up 55 times a game, every time you put it up, there's a potential for a turnover. A tipped ball, a ball that goes, off of somebody's body, a receiver that gets hit, and stripped, strip sacks. There's so many different things that can happen when you're dropping back 50 times a game.
No, you're not lying. You're not lying, sir.
So what other games did we enjoy this past week?
Well, I will say my prediction from last year came to a foresight this weekend.
Okay.
You remember what that bold prediction was?
Probably not.
The Detroit Lions clinched the NFC North.
Yep.
And if you remember,
hey, you know me. I was right with you last year. I was a Lions guy. I like the bite in the kneecaps.
But they secured the division title for the first time since 1993 this past weekend with a 30-24 victory over the Minnesota Vikings.
Yep.
And I just remember saying that last year, right around this time. I was like, my bold prediction for next season, Detroit Lions are going to win the division. And shit, you're not. They did. Maybe the blonde hair had some brain cells left in me. So
maybe. Well, one of my fantasy teams, I have 3 Lions in skill positions. I have on the same team, I have Goff and St. Brown and Gibbs.
Dang, so this weekend you had a fun weekend.
Yeah, so.
Because Goff. Hey Jackie, nice to see you. She says, "Oh my God, Johnny, I love to hear it. Thank you."
Gibbs is having a great year.
Oh, for a rookie, absolutely.
Yeah. Hi, Jackie.
She likes my hair. But no, Gibbs has proven a lot of people wrong because a lot of people are like, why is Detroit taking him at 13th overall? Like they thought that was a reach and a half, but hey, he shut people up.
Yeah, he sure did. Just the fact that he kind of supplanted Montgomery.
Yeah. I mean, you figure this year
who's not having a bad year in itself. Their combination of those two guys have put up a lot of yards.
Yeah, I mean, he has 872 yards rushing already, 9 touchdowns. Then the 51 receptions for 316 yards and a touchdown. So that's almost 1,200 yards on what? Roughly 200 and something touches. That's pretty damn good.
Yep.
He proved me wrong, and the best part is he's only lost one fumble all year, and that was this past Sunday.
Yep.
So I mean, can't ask much more from a rookie running back.
No, not at all. He sees the field very well. He can turn on a dime. As far as his cutting ability, and I'm not saying that he's the same player. Okay, don't get me wrong, because it wouldn't be fair to make this comparison. But just in terms of his vision and his cutting, he's reminds me very much of a Barry Sanders type of back.
No, I could the highlights I've seen, I could definitely see that. I mean, that's still big shoes to fill.
Yeah, exactly. But I wouldn't put that kind of pressure on him. But I will say that I see similarities in his game. That's the extent of what I'll say about him right now. But I think he's got a bright future if he stays healthy.
Oh, absolutely. Now, here's another question. I'm going to throw the Eagles back in this real quick.
Okay.
Who made out better for the deal? Eagles getting Swift or the Lions drafting Gibbs?
Yeah, but the Eagles wouldn't have drafted Gibbs.
No.
But they traded Swift because they knew they were drafting Gibbs.
True.
So I think that both teams made out.
Okay.
I don't think the Eagles start 10-1 without Swift.
True.
And whatever he does going forward, because he actually had another good game this past week.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been very consistent when he's gotten an opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, but I'm impressed with Gibbs. I actually like the whole entire Detroit team. Like, Jared Goff's been playing freaking phenomenal football.
Except for Garner Johnson.
Yeah, he can suck.
Don't like him. But everybody else I like.
But, like, Goff's had a couple bad games, but he's putting together a solid year. Gibbs Montgomery at running back. St. Brown, Jameson Williams, that came back from suspension. He's been looking really consistent. Yep. Sam Laporta. Another one
the tight end, yeah.
Another very young, good talent. Josh Reynolds has had a couple of good games.
Yeah.
I mean, they got Donovan Peoples-Jones at the trade deadline. You really haven't seen much of him yet.
But he came from Cleveland, right?
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
He's another explosive guy to get going in that offense. So, then defensively, like, besides for Gardner Johnson, like Aiden Hutchinson, Brian Branch, the rookie out of Alabama, they're putting a very solid team together.
Yep.
So, I mean, they might make a run. You never know.
Hey, they're right in the mix. Anything can happen.
I'll put it this way: if Philly gets knocked out of the playoffs and Detroit still is going, I'm rooting for Detroit.
Yeah, I might join you there, because I'm certainly not going to root for the Niners or the Cowboys. So I'd be okay with rooting for Detroit.
I mean, they're just putting it together. I mean, the biggest problem with Detroit this year is, though, they'll have one really, really good game, but then the next game will fall flat on their face. You can't do that. You got to be consistent all season long, especially just late into the season. You can't have that mental lapse where you blow a team out one week and then come back and get your ass kicked the next. Not how it works. But I am very happy to see them win the division this year. It's nice to see Dan Campbell's philosophy come full circle. That's what I can say about that. But it's just a very well-rounded team. Offensively, defensively, and they're getting some awesome stuff from Badgley, who's a pretty underrated kicker. So, go Detroit.
Yep.
How about you? What other games stuck out in your mind this weekend?
Oh, I think I might have been a little bit of a fan of that Dolphins game.
Yeah, well, being in this area makes sense, but as a football fan, You also like that close of football.
Yeah, it was an interesting game. It was definitely when Dallas came down on that first drive and they drove all the way down the field and then they fumbled. That was just, I think that just set the tone for the whole rest of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seemed like that just took the wind out of their sails.
That is true. I mean, there was a play that in that game and in the Eagles game that kind of pissed me off. And the Dolphins got hosed on the call, but then they kind of made up for it that same game with the whole Michael Parsons call. I'm sorry, but these referees are getting out of hand with these bullshit roughing the passer calls.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one on Christian Watkins was not a deliberate hit. You see him stretch his arms out like that. Dak pulled him down on top of him, and the guy still barely landed on top of him.
Yep.
And then Micah Parsons, as much as we hate Dallas, pushed the guy.
Roughing the shoulders.
Yeah, he didn't attack him. He pushed him.
Yeah.
And they both got called for roughing the passer. Like, give me an effing break. You're making this game look so soft anymore that it's not enjoyable to actually sometimes watch.
It's gonna end up being like flag football.
It's just pathetic.
They're gonna put the red shirts on the quarterbacks.
Am I wrong to feel this way? Like, do you feel the same way?
No, I just referees in general, I think, have been out of control this year. I mean, in any sport, what's always said is a referee should not be somebody that the crowd talks about.
Yeah.
If you're talking about the referee at the end of the game, then something was wrong.
That's true.
And there's been way too many ticky-tack calls that could, I'm not saying they are, but could be construed as playing around with the competitive balance of the game.
Yeah, I mean, you're making it more and more noticeable that the NFL is more of a gambling sport now than an actual game to sit and watch. With some of these things that the referees are calling, teams making calls, they go for field goals and blowout wins and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things that now given. I will say this. It may not be so much that you're thinking about these things and thinking that those things are possible because of the widespread expansion of gambling, especially on NFL. I mean, honestly, if you go back 20 years ago, some of these calls were being made then too, but nobody knew what the point spread was unless you went to Vinny down on the corner who was, running numbers for Uncle Vito at the pizza shop. But now, you pick up the phone and you instantly have odds on every single thing that could happen in a game.
Yeah, true.
And the fact that you're able to say, oh, well, DeAndre Swift is going to go over 52 rushing yards.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bet on that. And then he runs for 50. And you go, oh, it was fixed.
Yeah,
well, if those numbers aren't presented to you, you would never think of that and think that was a thing. It's just, it's every time they talk about a game on the radio or on TV or online, that the odds everywhere. Oh, they're a 4-point favorite. They're a 2-point favorite. You've just ingrained that into the game now.
Yeah.
And every time you do that, you open up any call that could be questionable to be something that was deliberate because somebody's got money on the game.
You're not wrong. Because it's just funny that you say that, because I was listening to Westwood 1 last Monday night when I was driving to my parents' house after work before the Eagles game started. And they were like, oh, Eagles are a 3.5 point favorite right now. But if Drew Lock plays, it jumps up to a 5.5 point favorite. What's one player make a difference that it goes from a 3 point favorite to a 5 point favorite? Just because one player?
Well, but what you have to understand is that in reality, no, but yes, and I'll explain that.
Okay.
No, it's not just because of one player. However, it is the effect of one player as opposed to where the money's going to go. So once they say Geno's out and Drew Lock is in, then more money starts going to the Philly side. And they have to balance that out because the ultimate result of a person who's setting a line, a gambling facility, is you want to get that money as close to even as possible. And if all the money starts going one way, you have to increase what you're giving this team in order to have that money come back and meet it somewhere close to the middle. Because ultimately that's where these betting establishments are profitable.
Mm-hmm.
And if that doesn't change and they just left the line where it was, then so much more money would be on the winning side and they would lose their asses.
Makes
so
sense.
the ultimate goal is for them to get it as close to the middle as possible. Any changes that happen to a line, that's why they change, because too much money's going on one side.
That's why I don't bet the money line. I just do straight up.
Yep.
Always have and always will.
Yep.
So, any other games that caught your attention? You want to jump over to a fantasy football segment real quick?
Well, we'll get that in a second, but
Okay.
and another guy who I've been somewhat of a fan of has been Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville.
Okay.
But he got hurt again this week. I mean, this season he has been riddled with injuries. And he's come back quickly from some and then ends up getting injured again and then injured again. So, I mean, I don't know if Jacksonville is going to complete their season the way that they thought they were going to complete their season, but they got to give this kid a chance. They can't give up on him just because of a couple injuries, because I still think that he is a top-notch quarterback who's got the right coach, who just, is having a rough year with injury because he's got a subpar offensive line.
I would agree with that. I mean, it sucks because they started the year off great. Jackson was top 2 team for most of the season, and unfortunately, like you said, the last couple of games he's just been getting banged up, and it shows.
Yeah.
I mean, CJ Beathard has been coming and playing some good football behind him, which you gotta give Beathard some credit for just being thrown into the mix and doing his thing, which is great. But it also makes Jackson think, okay, do we keep holding on to Trevor Lawrence, or do we go a different direction? Which, if you ask me, not fair to him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
Because that AFC South right now is a mess.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Almost as bad as the NFC South.
And I'm saying last night's game was dreadful. It had its moments, and it's a pretty good statement to make. Then that's my comment on EU Sports. All right, you can gossip all you want about sports on your night, Shannon. You have Thursday night, ladies' night. Remember, but Yeah, I mean, it just sucks to see Jacksonville start off so good and then last couple weeks I've just faltered. Hopefully, thought my father was going to throw the TV.
I
Now,
don't think he was. I don't think he was alone.
well, I fell asleep in a recliner, so I can't really talk. But I did watch most of the game. I don't. I've gotten over the fact of getting mad because I just the older you get, the more you realize you can't control the outcome of these football games.
Yep.
Yes, you can get mad, you can get steamed and all that, but at the end of the day, we're armchair quarterbacks. We think we can do everything to change the game, but we really can't. So, and more good plays by watching the dogs wrestle. There you go, see? Just watch Luna and Freya beat themselves up. That's always a lot of fun.
There you go.
Do some play-by-play on that.
Yeah.
Because these announcers have been absolutely horrible this year, too.
Oh God. You're not
I'll say
lying there.
I'll save that for after the season. I'm gonna rip every single network a new one after the season's over.
Yep.
Except Freya got hurt. Yes, she did. Wait, is it from wrestling Luna or beating up the damn bush? Because Freya's new thing is beating up shrubs. Freya would literally go head over heels and dive headfirst into a bush. Bow on Luna.
Hmm.
She's just giving him some sisterly love. Giving her the business, right, Ron?
Yep.
That
That's
old
correct.
referee, give her the business.
Give him the business. 15 yards, first down.
I should remember that. That was hysterical.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about this this playoff situation here in fantasy football.
Alrighty.
Because we got a little excitement going on.
And
We're
it is,
down to the final four.
yeah. Well, this week you beat Young Hoes 141 to 133 thanks to Sunday night performance from your tight end. You guys went into that night tied. And we got Mr. Jay Williams in chat. Evening, Jay. Nice to see you. Thanks for popping in. So that put you into the final round versus Jaybirds. And then Cheesin and Wisconsin blows out Vince's out of sight team 224 to 102. I don't know exactly what happened with that, but 122 point ass kicking in the playoffs. I'm like, eeh.
Yeah, that was a tough one. He had a great week.
Night's going well, Jay. I hope all is well with you, sir. Nice. We always appreciate you.
So that sets up you, Johnny, who's the number one seed, who's coming off the bye.
Yep.
Playing the team that just put a whooping on somebody. So you've certainly got your work cut out for you.
I do.
And the number 2 seed, Jason, gets to come up against his dad. That would be me in the other semifinal. So, Johnny, you and I are both in it. And Jason and
Mr. Joe Gallagher.
Joe Gallagher, right. So we got Joe and you and me and Jason.
Yep, and me and you are underdogs, according to Yahoo.
Yes. So I just played Jason in our other league. Hopefully he doesn't get revenge on me on this one. Because I just knocked him out in my other league on the way to the finals. So we'll see. We'll see how those playoff matchups go. But it's been an interesting season.
Yep. I will say this though, looking at some numbers real quick. If I had a game last week, like if I would have actually played somebody, I would have had second highest score, only behind Joe.
Okay.
Yeah, my team put up 168. You beat Mike 141 to 133. We said Joe beat Vinny 224 to 102. Jay Bird's team only put up 112 last week. And then Sam's team had 131. Team Miz had 138. Doughboy 144 and Boone the Run had 159. But the constellation bracket was on a bye week last week as well. So they go for those seeds this week. So I would have had the second highest total in the whole entire league last week.
Okay.
And Jay would have got his butt kicked pretty bad. Only put up 112 points.
Yeah. Well, I had DJ Moore got hurt early in the game for Chicago. I only got 4 points out of him, and I actually got 0 from my kicker, Bucker from Kansas City.
Yeah.
Because he made one and he missed one.
Yep.
So he netted 0.
That's true. And then, come on. Hawkinson's out?
Yes. Hawkinson's hurt.
Wow. So Mike lost him and Hopkins. Wow.
Yep.
But Joe's team was just literally on fire last week. You figure you get 45 from Josh Allen, 57 from Amari Cooper, 26 from Ridley, 24 from McCaffrey, 42 from Mr. Bryce Hall, 16 from Cole Kmet, who is questionable this week. Jonathan Taylor gave him 10. He also got 0 points from his kicker. And Philly's defense gave him 4. CJ Stroud returns this week. That is good news for Houston. They could use him bad.
Yep.
I mean, Houston's definitely not the same team without CJ Stroud in that lineup. So to get him back is absolutely huge. Especially fighting for a playoff spot.
I think Jason's going to be without Pachenko. He's got it in concussion protocol.
That'd be a big loss.
Yep.
I mean, I should have a full healthy slate, I think.
Well, not really, because he's got a chain from Miami as a backup. So he won't really lose much, I don't think. Because but they're going up against the Ravens, who's kind of tough against the run.
Yeah. I mean, my biggest question mark right now is my quarterback. Do I go with Joe Flacco versus the Jets or Justin Fields versus the Falcons? You know, other than that, he has Christian McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor with weak opponents, but it's going to be a dogfight. But like I had told you, if I wind up losing the first round, it's a failure of a season after finishing 12-2-1.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
But looks like no news with Zach Ertz. Yeah, I'm surprised about that. Zach Ertz has yet to sign anywhere.
Yeah.
You would think he would have signed by now.
Oh, unless his intention really was truly to retire.
I mean, if that's the case, then that's an awesome career, sir, and thank you for everything you've done. I mean, I just couldn't see him coming back to Philly. I know everybody wanted him back in Philly, but I just couldn't see it happen.
Yeah, and I mean, they really technically really didn't have the cap space to really do it. I think they will bring him back on a one day when he's done to, put him in the Eagles Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Now, do you think he's a Pro Football Hall of Famer?
Probably not.
Really? Okay.
No, I don't think so. I mean, he had decent numbers, but I don't think he had him to the level of Hall of Fame. Plus, there's really not that many tight ends in the Hall of Fame, really, if you think about it.
I don't think there is. Gronkowski, I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think Kelsey. I think Kelsey Gronkowski. That's a different level.
True.
Even though Zach did it over a period of time, I don't think he ever was the quote unquote, centerpiece of the offense. Whereas I think you can make a case that both Gronk and Travis Kelsey both were.
Yeah, you make a point. There's actually 34 tight ends in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But
modern, not that many in the modern era, though, because the dynamics of the position changed.
True.
When the game started to gravitate more to a passing type game.
Yeah. So modern day, you have Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Fair. Shannon Sharp's right on that borderline.
Yeah, and he's
Ben Coates. I didn't know he got inducted.
Ben Coates.
Antonio Gates.
Gates, yeah, okay.
Jason Witten.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple that were from the last couple.
Another guy who has potential is a guy like Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
If he does it over a period of time.
True. But I'm trying to think of other tight ends right now. Probably none really off the top of my head.
No, none that really stand out other than Kelsey.
Yeah, Kelsey. I mean,
Kelsey and Andrews are probably the top two.
Yeah, you could put Kittle in with a little question mark.
But they got so many weapons. They spread the ball out around so much that Kittle isn't as much of a part of the offense that he used to be.
That is true. Good old Pete Hasler. Pistol Pete. Number 44, one of the retired numbers in Eagles history, too.
Yeah.
So
which there are not that many Eagles retired numbers.
There is now 7?
6 or 7?
I think it's 7. And I know it's McNabb, Dawkins,
Bednarik.
Yep.
Jerome.
Yep, 99.
Reggie White.
Yep. Who else? 15. Steve Van Buren.
Van Buren. Maybe Brookshire. Maybe no. Brookshire wasn't. Tommy McDonald. Maybe.
That sounds about right.
That's the only other one I could think of right off the top of my head.
Jersey numbers. Philadelphia. Here we go. Yeah, 5 McNabb, 15 Van Buren, 20 for Dawkins, 40 Brookshire, 44 Raslev, 60 Chuck Van Dyke, 70 Al Worcester. Never heard of that name.
Yeah,
and number 92 Reggie White and 99 Jerome Brown.
Yep.
Never heard of Fred. Why haven't I heard that guy before?
He's going back a ways.
Al Worcester, a 4-time All-Pro and Eagles Hall of Famer, but not an NFL Hall of Famer. He was part of another Eagles 40s, won multiple championships. He spent all 9 years of his career with the Eagles, including 1 year where they moved with the Steelers.
The Steagles.
Yep.
1943.
You're correct. But yeah, I've just never had heard of him. Okay.
Yep.
I learn something new every day, folks. I don't think they had a good year that year, neither.
No, probably not. They had a lot of bad years back then.
That is true. All you gotta do is watch the movie Invincible, and you'll find out a lot of them.
Yeah, yeah.
The white jerseys, green numbers, and then the white helmets with the green eagles, like uh, eagle wings.
The wings, yeah.
That's when the Eagles were trash.
Yep.
I remember my dad first got a season ticket too, $15 a season.
Wow.
Oh yeah, my dad used to tell me stories.
Yeah.
But switching gears real quick, I know Sixers are off tonight. They lost last night.
But
Yeah,
having one hell of a season.
yeah. I mean, they're definitely up there.
Joel is playing like an MVP. Maxi's playing like an all-star.
Maxi's freaking unbelievable right now.
Imagine what you can do when you can actually handle the ball.
That is
And he's
great.
made Embiid better, honestly, because Embiid's not out there thinking he's got to carry the whole team.
That is true. I mean, I know they lost last night in Miami, but they didn't have Embiid, and Miami didn't have Butler, so it's pretty much not a game to watch. But
Yeah.
this Jazzquaz Jr. had 31 points for Miami last night, so he went off. Maxey only had 12, so like it seems like Tyrese Maxey goes with Embiid.
Yeah.
Because when Embiid, I think Embiid's had when he plays like 7 or 8 straight games in the 30s.
Yeah. I mean, he's about to do something that only one other player in NBA history ever did.
What's that?
And that was because of the way that they play him. A lot of times in the fourth quarter, he's not even playing.
True.
Or load managing because they're up 30 points, in the fourth quarter. He is averaging more points per game than minutes.
That's insane.
So he was playing 46 minutes a game in one stretch, and he was averaging 48 points.
Wow.
In 46 minutes. And the only other player to ever come close to doing that was Wilt.
Jeez.
In NBA history.
That's some big company.
Yeah.
I mean, he's averaging 35 points a game right now, so he's a whole point and a half over Luka Doncic, who's averaging 33.5. And Shai Alexander from the Thunder and Giannis both have 30.8, and Kevin Durant 30.3. So
yeah,
and he's also in top 5 in the rebounding right now. He's averaging 11.7 boards per game too. So I'd put him up there for MVP talk again.
Yeah. And I mean, he never even dreamed of rebounding when Harden was there. I mean, he was never in the paint.
That is true.
Because he was taking too much abuse underneath.
Yeah. Wow. Who would have thought you would see that? Tyrese ready for this? I'm going to blow you away.
Okay.
Tyrese Maxey averaging 25.9 points for the season so far, right?
Yeah.
He's ranked number 15.
Okay.
He's 0.5 points higher than this individual right now.
Okay.
LeBron James.
Wow. How about that?
Go Maxey!
Yeah, I mean, he's got a future. He really does. If those two guys stay together for a while, they can be special.
That is true.
And how about them Flyers?
The surprise team right now in the whole entire NHL.
Just goes to show you one thing. Culture matters.
Yeah.
Keith Jones and Danny Briere have changed the entire mood of that building, from the locker room to the front offices to the fan base, to the fans in attendance. That venue is alive again, is the way it was put to me. I know somebody that has season tickets there, and they said that it used to be, for the last couple years, it's been like a tomb, and no enthusiasm in the building, no enthusiasm on the ice. And they said that now it's almost back to the glory days as far as the energy in the building. They've just, in a short period of time, they've changed the entire mood of everything around the team.
Yeah. Depends on line. I was at a game a couple weeks ago when they were playing the Devils. They lost in overtime, 3-2. It was 4-3. Sorry, it was first responders night. So I went over with Kevin Pekin, a bunch of firefighters, and the place was alive. That's for damn sure.
Yep.
Hey, good evening, Curtis. Nice to see you.
Hey, Curtis.
Happy holidays, my friend. Thanks for stopping in.
Indeed.
But they got to get back on track. They're on a 2-game losing skid right now. But
yeah, but that one game, they were down 5-1.
Yeah, they fought back.
And they fought back to tie it and take it to overtime.
Yep, got a point out of it. Nice haircut. Thank you, Curtis.
Which you never would have saw the last couple of years. You never would have seen that kind of fight in that team.
Nope, not at all. I mean, it was wild. They were down 5-1, came back 5-5, went ahead 6-5.
Yep.
And Detroit scored a goal to tie it 6-6, and then they lost in a shootout.
Yep.
Which was actually the first shootout loss of the year. It was 3-0
first one
prior.
This year. Yeah, they were actually 3-0, I think.
Yep.
Prior to that.
I mean, they have a pretty big decision to make. If you follow hockey, I know Curtis does. They have 2 goalies right now who are playing both pretty damn good.
Yeah.
With Carter Hart and Sam Erickson. What one do you hold on to and what one do you move? A lot of people say Carter Hart's died one out.
A lot of people thought the Hart would already be out by now.
It's true. I mean,
but he's playing pretty well.
Yeah.
Tough decision, but those are when you have good decisions to make.
That is true. I mean, you got the annual Christmas West Coast trip this week. You got Edmonton on,
Disney on Ice.
Yep. So they're out in Pacific Northwest. They got Vancouver, Seattle, Calgary, and Edmonton. So if you like hockey, if you like flying hockey and want to stay up late, there's a reason why.
Yeah.
And they come home for 4 games in a row. Wow. Columbus, Calgary, Pittsburgh again, and the Canadiens. There you go, Curtis. They play Montreal and Philly. January 10th. Book a flight.
Well, I lied. It's 2 events, actually, every year Christmas in Philly. It's Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and then it's Disney on Ice.
Correct.
And that covers the holiday.
Yep. I could see Trans-Siberian Orchestra one year if I could.
Awesome.
Look at the standings real quick. I think Curtis is probably still looking in chat. The Montreal Canadiens right now are 15, 13, and 5. So they're above 500, which is good. Just they play in a very hard conference or division.
Yeah.
They play in the same division as, like, you figure, a team like Boston, Toronto, Florida, Tampa Bay, who was talking about maybe moving Steven Stamkos. I would be surprised to see that.
Yeah. Well, what's Flyers' record right now?
Flyers are 18, 11, and 4.
Wow. Who would have thunk it?
Not many people. I mean, you figure. Yeah, they got 18 wins. I mean, they have only 33 games played, so a couple teams have more games in hand.
Yeah.
But like the Rangers have only played 32 games and stuff like that. Like, I'm just shocked when I look at this. There's some team like there was a couple. Now there's only one. The Ottawa Senators have only played 29 games.
Wow.
So overall, who would you say is the best team in Philly right now between the Eagles aren't too good, between the Sixers and Flyers, and it's a toss up. He's not lying. He actually makes a very good point. If you take the if you
But I mean, I have a problem with the Eagles aren't too good. I mean, they're they still have a shot at the 1 seed
yeah,
in the NFC for the playoffs. I mean, are they playing to the same level they played to last year? No. Are they playing tougher competition this year? Absolutely yes. You know, I mean, it depends on who's the best team. What team is more likely to be a champion? Is that what the question is, or just in general?
I think he probably just means just in general.
It's tough to compare. I mean, Sixers and the Flyers are both, for all practical purposes, outstanding right now in comparison to where they were last year. Whereas the Eagles might be a little bit more in the other direction. So if you're going to choose between the Flyers and the Sixers, I mean, the winning percentage is very similar. But I think I'd have to say the Sixers myself. I mean, I like what the Flyers have done for the very, very reasons I just said about changing the culture of the team. But I mean, the Sixers, the perennial, second round exit team, uh, is playing more like a team than they have in several years.
True.
And I think that has a lot to do with their success. And there's not really that divisive element in the locker room, you would think, that's going to do anything to change the path that they're on.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
mean,
think?
it's definitely a toss up because both teams are playing phenomenal. Like everyone knew the Sixers were going to have a good season. As long as LMB came back, you had Maxi coming back. Everyone expected the Sixers to do good. Everyone expected the same repeat with the Eagles for this year as they did last year. I mean, I wouldn't say they're the best team, but the most surprising team in Philly, I would say, is hands down the Flyers.
Yes.
The Flyers
Yes.
were predicted to be absolutely horrible this year. We can all
Yes.
agree on that.
Nobody expected them to do anything this year, and the fact that they're where they are is pretty amazing.
But the best team in Philly right now, I really can't pick because like all like you said, all three teams have the qualities and what makes them good for the city.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's a real good question though, Gary. I mean, that I think that any sports fan would have trouble answering that question.
oh, here we go. The Carolina Hurricanes fan is in the building.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Gallagher. Yeah, we got to deal with a Carolina fan now. He's an
Yeah.
Eagles fan, but he's a Carolina Hurricane hockey fan.
He just came in to, do a little this for you for this week.
If he's smart, he won't start his crap.
Are you saying don't poke the bear?
Yeah.
But
As of
it's
right
a
now,
blonde bear. It's
that's
like a
true.
polar bear kind of.
What, you saying I should go white next? Get my
No,
flossy
I already got that covered.
Eagles, Sixers, Phillies, and Kakalakins. I don't understand how someone can like 3 out of 4 Philly major sports teams and then dive deep down south. That doesn't make sense, Joe. As of right now, the Flyers got better wins than the Sixers. I mean, they're about the same. I mean,
Yeah.
Rod Brindamore is the reason that you like the Carolina Hurricanes. That's it. Do I give him a pass or do I give him more time?
For Rod Brindamore?
That's the only reason he likes the Carolina Hurricanes, apparently.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's yeah. I like it.
Niners,
Yeah.
Bulls, Rangers, and Yankees. Huh. I know I'm weird. Guy likes the Niners, Bulls, Rangers, and Yankees. All right, so we have a San Fran, Chicago, and then 2 New York teams.
Yeah. Well, where Guy lives, it's kind of, it's north enough that, some of those, New York teams make sense, because
But
he's a little bit more towards the northern part of the state.
but still, Niners and Bulls, and then 2
But
New York.
I'll tell you, he's consistent though, because as long as I've known Guy, his teams are his teams, and that's that. He's been loyal to all of them regardless. So
I was born in times of, I'll give it a slide then, guy. But you're saying Ron Franchise, who's Ron Francis, and Rod Brindlewood, and Bobby
yeah,
Clark ruined the Flyers team I love. Lindros, LeClaire, Recchi, Lorenberg, Langkow, Brindlewood, Terrian. And I was done with the Flyers, and that's how they banished Bobby Clark. Well, Bobby Clark's basically non-existent anymore.
but part of that is by Bobby Clark's choice.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying though, like he doesn't make the decisions anymore. You have
And
new blood in you for once.
when the corporation got involved, they had to clear the, quote unquote old guard out. And I think Bobby saw the writing on the wall. And I think maybe he got out when the getting was good.
Yeah, that is true. Can't keep everybody together. That's the new state of sport. I guess he has a point, right? I mean, can't keep all the teams local. I don't know.
No, I mean, if you go back, before free agency and before, I mean, it's worse in basketball than anywhere, because basically a basketball player, because basketball has the weakest union, but it also has the most powerful players. The players call the shots. The players hire and fire coaches. The players determine what other players they're going to play with and where they're going to play.
True.
So I mean, I think that's the biggest issue with the NBA right now.
It's more of a players' league.
Yeah, it's a players' league, and whereas hockey has never really been about that. I mean, really, hockey was very light on free agency for a long time, and then there came a time when that changed. But I mean, early on, you didn't see a lot of hockey players changing teams.
That's true.
In free agency.
True. There's one comment. They should take down the number 16 and burn it. He really does hate Bobby Clark.
Apparently so.
And high value free agents go to places who win. That is very true. You can definitely keep teams together. Simple. $1 million per year and 500 million bonuses in year 20. Okay, he's an advocate for the LA Dodgers all of a sudden. I get it.
Yeah.
And LeBron is his own GM, always trying to make super teams. LeBron's the reason all the super teams started.
Yes, he had the first super team, and ESPN televised it.
So stupid, the decision.
I don't know if you were watching that night.
I did.
But then they had this big special on ESPN where LeBron was going to announce his team. And then he trotted out his guys that he had with him. And they just all, that was crazy.
Man, well, media spent a lot of money.
Long way from Kurt Flood.
Yeah, I mean that just changed. That alone changed the whole course of the game. Here you go. It's just a gift, but you can just remember. Hold on, see if I can make it bigger. I don't think I can. Oh, I can. Here it is. It was a whole big ESPN spectacle like that. They had one, and they had the whole team lineups in the
And they
back.
had the stage with the glittery curtain, and they all trotted out, and the crowd was going wild. Ah!
So stupid.
Yeah, it was silly. I agree with you there.
It made you kind of think of a college football signing.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Like
But
how,
even that didn't get that crazy.
yeah, but they're getting worse and worse as the years have gone now. Like you have a high school kid sitting behind the stage, behind a table, and he has like 6 hats lined up. Oh, I'm going to take my talents to the University of Florida. I mean,
Well, and now college is getting out of hand.
true.
With all these NIL deals, where they're allowed to make money off of their images and their brand. This transfer portal thing is getting way out of hand.
It's true.
They're going to have to reel that back in.
Yep. All right, guys, got to bounce, but it's great to see you've got the blonde hair going to prepare you for your off season to the beach after I win this weekend.
Nice. Get a little bit of trash talk in there. All right, Joe, that'll give you a couple days to celebrate before you're going to have to run into me.
Yeah, well, I'm going to give Joe a taste of his own medicine. Hold on, not that one.
Is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is a man. Oh my God!
It's not an Adam's apple. I got swollen glands.
Oh, Jesus. NIL deals and transfer portal is nuts. NCAA. Yeah, they have to.
They have to get it under control. It's crazy.
Yeah, but they need a kicker. He knows.
Hey, Mason Crosby had popped up in New York this week.
How does the team have 3 kickers on an injured reserve?
What?
Yeah, they do.
Why?
Randy Bullock, somebody else, and then Cade York. They're all
Why
on
would
IR.
you put any kicker on injured reserve unless it was Justin Tucker?
I don't know. Talking about someone who puck was under pressure. Thank you, Guy. Guy gets the reference. I actually just watched both those movies not too long ago.
Yeah.
Gurneau. There you go. There's the third one. Graham Gurneau.
Wow.
I just cracked me up. They were talking about it yesterday. I was like, wait, what? 3 kickers on IR? Are you kidding me? Well, if you want to get hurt and still be on a team and kick football, let's go sign with the Giants. They can have
Because you can't cut them. You can't cut them while they're on the injured list.
Exactly. But why do you have one on a practice squad IR?
Because you only get as so many spots on the regular IR. So if they have to leave room in case they get a key starter that gets hurt that they have to put on IR, they need to free up that spot off of the practice squad.
Glass hamstring. They all have pulled hamstrings? Are you kidding me?
It's that turf.
Yeah, that is true. MetLife turf has.
It's bad for kickers.
Well, not just kickers.
Think about it. You can't really plant.
True.
You know, when you plant and your spikes get caught in that turf, that's why those guys are ripping hamstrings. Because their entire force of their leg, they're planting on the one leg and swinging the other leg. That makes a lot of sense. It really does.
True.
I really didn't put that 2 and 2 together till just now. But yeah, absolutely. That could be a big part of it.
MetLife is shit. He is absolutely right.
Yep. It's the turf.
Well, that's why I think going to have a lead. Part of the owners meeting in the winter is going to be to address that, because a lot of owners think that they should remove the turf and go to natural grass. So
It's not a tumor.
MetLife is where star players go to. Yeah, I mean, he's not lying.
Yeah.
I wanted to pull up one more thing.
Well, let's not talk about that because we still have to go back there in 2 weeks. I don't need anybody pulling a hammy going into the playoffs.
Right. All right. Let me see if I can find this real quick.
And it looks like we're going to need that game. So I don't think anybody's going to be resting, or at least not unless they get a big lead.
That's true. I'm trying to find a good pitch for this real quick. Nope, that's not it. Trying to find it real quick. Hold on. There was a big thing that happened. They mentioned 2 weeks ago. Okay, here you go. I'll just pull this one up.
Okay.
So this was down in Carolina 2 weeks ago when they played the Atlanta Falcons. Okay.
Okay.
What is up with this? Hold on. How can you, this is 10 minutes before kickoff of an NFL game.
Do you know how much tickets were?
47 cents.
47 cents.
I'm sorry.
If you went up to the box office that day, you could have bought a ticket to that game for 47 cents.
That's just insanity.
And that's still need to cover the price of printing the ticket.
When I was down there in 2018, this stadium was packed.
Yep. Well, that's what happens when you're 3-13.
Yes, guy. I just get the Bank of America Stadium in downtown Charlotte. It's actually a very nice stadium too. I don't know if you've ever been down there or not, Ron, but it's actually
I have
stadium.
not been to that stadium. No, I spent a lot of time in Carolinas, but never at that stadium.
It's a very, very nice stadium. Now, if I'm not mistaken, no. Yeah, 3-13. Yeah, I wouldn't go neither. But still, you're paying all that money for season tickets because you know there's plenty of season ticket holders who are still invested into this team. Granted, the weather doesn't look the best, but even back in the day when they had monsoon rain, that place was still full.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're an NFL player, how do you even get psyched up to play in front of something like this? This brings you back almost to COVID. So I just thought that would be something to bring up real quick. I mean, it's kind of depressing. Bad economy, I guess. Maybe, but Charlotte is a nice city. You have a lot in the downtown area that you can do. I mean, Ron, before you crack any jokes, I know it's coming, but in downtown Charlotte, they have the NASCAR Hall of Fame, which if you're a NASCAR fan like myself, doing that before the game before the Thursday night was a lot of fun. There's a lot of nice restaurants in that area. There's a lot to see in that city. So
that was only 35 cents.
What?
NASCAR Hall.
Yeah, I wish. It cost me $40 to get into that place.
Hey, the only thing related to NASCAR that I want to take a tour of is Ricky Bobby's house that Harvick just bought.
Yeah. Gary, don't you start neither. I'll give you a left. I'll give you a left. You guys are mean. I quit.
And yes, the tush push does not cause hamstring injuries. Doesn't cause any injuries, actually, if you do it right. The only time anybody ever got hurt on it is because they weren't doing it right.
That's true. Not first, you're last. That's how I'll feel this weekend if I don't win my fantasy football matchup.
Shake and bake. Be all up on you like a spider monkey. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
I'll break your hip.
Chip, I'll be all over you like a spider monkey.
You're asking for it. You're asking for it. Hold on. All right, let's see. Hold on. Yeah. Sheriff, present. It's all for you, Ron.
Okay.
I can't hold my tongue. These kids are my grandchildren, and you are raising them wrong. They're terrible boys.
Shut up, Chip, or I'll go ape shit on your ass. I'm gonna scissor kick you in the back of the head.
Yeah. Turn up the heat. Go on and get some, boys. Come on.
I'm 10 years old, but I'll beat your ass. Chip, I'm gonna come at you like a spider monkey.
Like a spider monkey. Go on. Chip, you brought this on, man.
Greatest generation, my ass. Tom Brokaw is a punk.
What is wrong with you?
Chip, I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
I love that.
Let your sons talk to their grand.
That was the last one in that one too.
Oh man, I love it.
You gonna let your kids talk to grandpa like that? Yes, I am. I had to. Since you guys want to reference that movie so much.
Yeah.
Gary says he remembers Charlotte quite well. We had a lot of fun in Charlotte. I mean, it was a nice city, a lot to do. On the way home, we stopped at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for a tour, which was a pretty cool thing because we got to do a lap around the track. I mean, yes, it was all left turns, but still pretty cool to see. Okay.
We stopped at a truck stop. There was a lot lizard named Charlotte was working.
Yeah, see, Gary learned how NASCAR started in Charlotte. I hated Charlotte when I was in North Carolina. I stayed near the beach. I mean, I've been to both. I did the city of Charlotte and I did the Outer Banks. So, I mean, do I prefer the Outer Banks over Charlotte? Absolutely. But my goal was to hit all these away stadiums, and Charlotte was pretty reasonable price. I think I only paid $75 for a ticket. It was a Thursday night game. Eagles won 28-23. So I was happy about that. Lazoo Douglas had the 2 interceptions. So, I mean, yeah. As long as Eagles win on the road, we have fun.
There you go.
I mean, 6 away games, only have 1 loss, and it was a 27-20 loss in Tampa Bay. Hey, I'll take it. So, yeah. Anything else that you like to add? I think that's a good stopping point for tonight.
Yeah, I believe so. I got to go get me some Mountain Dew.
I got books.
Nice. Well, I had
keyword
Wawa iced tea.
You and Shannon, I swear. Every other time I'm going over, do you need me to stop and grab you? Yeah, I need tea.
Yep. I don't drink soda. I don't drink that much soda. Every now and then.
I try not to, but I've been feeling miserably lately.
The only time I drink soda is when if I happen to have fast food. I don't like McDonald's sweet tea. It's too sweet.
Too sweet. Makes fun too sweet.
Yep.
But no, do you have the video of the Eagles fans coming down? Oh, he's putting me on the spot. I think I do have that. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
It was after the Thursday night game when we were down in Charlotte. All the Eagles fans chanting the Eagles chant. It was insane.
Coming out of the stadium?
Yeah.
Nice.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold on. Videos. Your videos. That's Penn State. Open practice, Buffalo. I have it somewhere. Yep, here it is. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. It was absolutely mayhem.
Oh wow.
The whole way out of the stadium.
Way to represent. Nice.
Oh, every game I've gone to, Eagles fans have shelled out and showed up. I mean,
Yep.
you figure I've done Indianapolis, Charlotte, Tampa Bay, MetLife, Washington, and Buffalo. And every single time it's been at least 40%, if not higher, of the amount of Eagles fans that have shown up.
Nice.
I mean, the ones that will give us a run for our money, I've seen it firsthand now, will be Buffalo. Buffalo fans were absolutely nuts. They were hospital were very friendly.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Nice.
I've been nice. I could bring it up last night if you want me to.
Petey, pretty bird.
3319 guy. 3319.
Petey's dead.
Okay.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, a lot riding on this weekend. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so
Let's send Mr. Gannon packing back.
Yeah, especially if he's going to start calling offense on the field. Watch out.
Yeah.
Okay. Guy's a wise guy. I like this guy.
Yeah. Nice.
Divide the song chant about 25 times. Yes. I lost my voice singing that song so many times that I do.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is every time you go away, like Indianapolis, we did something else before we left the city. And we did the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which is a lot of history. As we're leaving, we see another Jersey plate show up. Eagles fans, of course. They just got into town from Blackwood.
Okay.
We're leaving the Charlotte game, and there's like this little nice community city park outside the stadium. This couple stops us asking us to take a picture, so we said sure. Here they're from Camden.
Okay.
So I mean, it's just any mix of Eagles fans throughout was just insane. So I got Hey Blondie in chat. What's up, Trey? Thank you for the kind words. Yes, I am a blonde, even though it looks orange in the light, but Purdy stuck kept Ravens in the red zone all right. Yeah, I mean, when you have 4 interceptions, I mean, it definitely wasn't a Brock Purdy game. That's for damn sure. But yeah, much love to you as well, Trey. So, but yeah, it all
Good to
just comes
see you,
down.
Trey.
It all comes
Yep.
down because San Francisco has Washington this weekend, so they should bounce back with a win. We have Arizona, and then you have. I'm not Justin Bieber. Shut the. No.
Dallas and Detroit.
Dallas and Detroit's the big game this weekend.
Saturday night or
Is it?
Sunday night?
No, I think Saturday night. I think it was.
Saturday night.
But yeah, I mean, I work till 8 o'clock on Saturday night, so I should be able to watch that. If I'm not prepping for Sunday because we have a busy week coming up on the Basement Show. We have Ladies Night Thursday with Mama D and Miss Shannon. Friday night you have Rev Grimm and the Rev Grimm Show, which is always fun and unpredictable. And then this coming Sunday, I am doing a New Year's Eve spectacular to wrap up 2023. I'm going to start working on end of the year video. To get that going, we have a couple of announcements coming for the New Year's. So that show will be at 9 o'clock also on Sunday night. I know it's New Year's Eve. You can tune in, watch the replay. It's always greatly appreciated. So E. Washington's a tough play to come to play every week, even though the record is sorry. Yeah, I mean, good luck to the Niners this weekend, guy. I mean, especially coming to the East Coast, you got to come to Washington for that game after being home. So let the best teams win. That's all I can say. Ryan, anything else?
No, nothing else. That sums it up. Good luck in your playoff game this week.
You as well.
Against Mr. Joe.
Yep. Good luck with this, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? We could be back here next Tuesday previewing the championship game between each.
Yep.
You never know.
We'll see. But in the meantime, thanks everybody for popping in. We appreciate you. Make sure you're like, follow, and share. Spread the word. We're gonna have our have that New Year's Eve special to kind of recap the year and lay out some interesting things coming up for next year. And yeah, so there you go. You know, we're here for you. Without you, we don't have a show. So as long as you're coming out and supporting us, we're here. And we're having fun doing it. So.
Oh, look, Alan said night-night.
Hey, Alan.
Sir, thank you for popping in towards the very end. I don't know if you've been looking or not, but always good to see you in chat. But, Guy, good luck in your semifinal. He's playing his cousins this weekend.
Good luck. Guy, I got two finals this week. And then our league, which is semifinal. So I'm in 2 championships on Sunday. Well, this weekend, I should say.
Matt saying hello, and I'm going to say, Matt, unfortunately a little bit late. I'm going to say hello and good night. So it's been.
Hey, Matt, good to see you, man. Thanks for checking in.
Yeah, always a pleasure. But till Thursday night, the Basement Show is signing off, and make sure, like I said, you tune in this Thursday night at 9 o'clock for Ladies' Night with Miss Mama D and Miss Grimm. They always have a lot of fun, and it's always good to go. Your brain is probably mush for 3 times, for 3 teams. You know, she might like it.
I had a good time playing this year, and I had a pretty successful year. So I got to say, I didn't have too much trouble, but it was a lot of fun.
And I'm in 2 leagues, and I think I have a combined record of 22-8-1. So I'll take it. But
one league is my first year in the league, and it was a big time money league. So I'd love to come on top of that one because that's a major prize for first place in that league. So, and I'm going in as the number 1 seed. So we'll see what happens. You know, anything can happen.
You got this.
I just hope I make a decent showing. That's all.
Amen to that.
Yep.
So we'll catch you all later. Get that money. Show me the money.
Say it with me, Jerry. Show me the money.
Show me the money. Adios.
Yo,